Good morning, everybody. Which one is my camera? This one. Good morning, good afternoon, good day. I'm gonna have to see the comments first, and then we're going to have to go for this. We really have some things to cover this morning, answering some questions, the ones that we couldn't answer on Thursday. But first, let me welcome you to Money Talk with PTP Sam this afternoon. P Sam is here.
Afternoon.
And we're gonna have a good chat. But what is most important to me, as you know, is I need you chatting with me. I think it's a season of knowledge and understanding. What knowledge does is that it makes things easier for you. It makes you process some things that it takes people many years to know. I mean, or to answer. And so usually people learn by mistakes and
Yes, sir.
flukes.
Yes, sir.
Come up and down, and then eventually you get to know. Um, but in this day and age, computers and tech has made life easier. You can know what someone. No, no. Before this time, so what people do is that they have classes.
Mm.
They can teach what they know or they've learned over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
You pay heavy amount. You travel to America for the program.
Yes,
You
sir.
with your family. You want knowledge, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
fine. But this age has made it easier
Yeah.
that we can sit like this and talk.
Yeah.
Asking question is a skill as well. It's one of the greatest key to success. The ability to ask, because
Yes, sir.
if you would ask, it will be because you thought about it.
Yes, sir.
But the world we live in, most people don't think about things. I think we appreciate things. We say, "Wow, this is good," you know. This is so good. This is a blessing. But we haven't really thought about
Yes,
it.
sir.
And then a week, 2 weeks, a year, 2 years down the line, the same question is posed to us, and we can't answer
Yes, sir.
those questions because we never asked. So yeah, but
And
go
that's
on.
one of the things that I want to encourage as well, because I think it's also important as these questions are going on, maybe to develop more questions as you're watching.
Yeah,
Simply because the root of a wise person is to be able to ask right questions
absolutely.
to right people. So I think it's a major key, especially when we've had services like we had yesterday.
Yeah,
It's easy to assume
yeah,
that you understand it, because some of the words like imagine, for example,
yeah,
is something that you will even hear in school. So it's easy to assume that you can know it if you mix your old education with
yeah,
what you're hearing
yeah,
on a daily basis. So
yeah.
it's important to develop questions to think through some of the things. And we've got some questions here, but of course we'll get to those in a short while. So
Absolutely. So I've been asking people what you think about, or what some people actually what they think about the word imagination. And as usual, having pastor for a while, you start hearing all manner of
yes,
theories.
sir.
Um, so, and of course, it's a short period between yesterday and today. So, but the problem again is, do I trust that we listen to these things in
Yes,
order
sir.
to ask questions? Because we have to listen in order to ask questions.
Yeah.
Then it becomes clearer.
Yes, sir.
So I'm hearing all sort of translation.
Yeah.
So I said to one of the person, said, "This is why these things can work for you,
Yeah.
because you've heard it, you've interpreted it this way, and usually it just goes back to what you've always known.
Yes, sir.
At first, when that word is eating you, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
this is new, this is
Yeah.
new. Then,
Yeah.
when you begin to process it over time, you just put it back to you,
Back to where you are coming from,
where,
what you already know.
yeah, your whole background,
Yes, sir.
and it becomes a problem
Yes, sir.
because go for
Sorry,
it.
let me
No,
just quickly
interrupt me,
say
anything.
something quite practical about that side. I think one of the things that I've also made sort of like a training in my own mind
Yeah,
is to make sure that even though I've heard it live that day,
yeah,
that to actually train myself to tell myself I don't know this. So I need to go back and think on it.
yeah,
Not just because the issue sometimes that you can have is that because we are a spiritual movement,
Yeah.
in terms of you can have the word come out, and
Yeah.
some people are used to the normal format of church,
Yeah.
right? You can then you can just hear the word and think, wow, that was powerful.
Yeah.
But I think it's about also training the mind to say, I haven't heard this. Because if I have heard it, and of course this is from training, if I have heard it, there will be certain progresses and certain results that I will see from what I have heard.
That's right.
You know, so
That's right.
So it's important, I think, just before we get into the heavy things, to start off light and say it's important to train your mind that once you're hearing it, that you understand that you haven't heard this. I need to go back and hear this again and think on what I'm actually hearing. Because in the euphoria of the moment, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of enthusiasm, but I haven't sat down and thought with what I'm hearing.
That's completely right. If you're going to grow, you have to have a strategy for the complete retraining of your mind. It has to be a strategy, as in, it's got to be a strategy that you're deliberate about.
Yes, sir.
You have to have a take-out strategy and a take-in strategy, and that's easy to say, meaning you have to take out the hold.
Yes, sir.
But like Pisam just said, it will take training. You have to train your mind and brain, especially the neurons of the brain, to be able to do that. And like I said on Saturday, you train the mind or the brain, especially the brain, really, because it will control the activities of the mind. You train it by calling your attention to things. If you can call your attention to certain things, then you're training your brain, because don't forget, the brain it grows. It's the last organ of the body to grow, and it grows till you are in your mid-20s.
Wow.
And so it's triggered based on the things that you've seen.
Yes, sir.
So I said on Saturday, if all you've been hearing is poverty or poverty, no, we don't have. Even though you've grown up now, you're saying, I hate this, we don't have thing. People do that. They do say that.
Yeah.
But they never train the mind the brain to take how.
Yes, sir.
So they feel that just by their determination, then you then see people who, yes, they are talking this talk of prosperity and stuff like that, but they can't experience it. They can't believe it can happen to them.
You know, the thing I actually wrote down, I think it was a while back now, because I was probably doing a leadership series at the time.
Right.
And I actually came to the conclusion that the most difficult thing to change is the mind.
Yeah.
I mean, and then of course we're going, the brain is what controls the functions of the mind.
Yeah.
But I actually said it must be the most difficult thing to change, because in the training that it's already received, if you're not conscious enough to be able to become almost like a child again, to retrain. And it's not a situation where you don't have things that retrain it. The word that we hear, the podcasts that we do, it talks about we talk about money making. In those things, there are instructions that can train the mind. But to sit down and consciously sit and think on those things in order to reprogram, in quote, that mind, I think is one of the most difficult things to do.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that will make it easier for those who listen to these things constantly is the fact that you are locked in the world of this.
Yes, sir.
So what you may want to do practically is, like I said on Saturday, information consumes a lot of energy. Information is so powerful that it takes space.
Yes, sir.
So if you reduce your information and you focus information, I think that's the first investment a person must have in themselves.
We have that question here, though. Can I read it, because it's like,
absolutely.
What's your investment philosophy?
Right.
That's what somebody has asked here. And just to explain the questions we have, I think there was unfinished questions that you had from the time with some of the young people. When I say young, we're all young, but I say they were about 21, 18 to about 21, and these are the questions that came out from it, but we're going to continue from there. So what's your investment philosophy? You were just speaking about investment.
Absolutely. I think first for me will be imagination. Because these are the things that are free.
Yes, sir.
nobody has to. You don't pay to imagine stuff.
Yes, sir.
And I wish I had time yesterday to explain that you. Let me take this book for example.
Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna. You see, as simple as this is, and I think it's beautiful, it's attractive, and
yes,
all
sir.
that. There were books before this. In fact, this book was written. This is not the first copy of it.
Yes, sir.
Whoever designed this or made it look this colorful,
Yes,
this is very simple, right?
Yeah.
Looking at it now. But it's only simple because you've seen it now. You've seen it physically.
Yes, sir.
It wasn't simple before. Someone probably did a cover that was so boring and dead. Imagine the cover of this book in 1940.
It would have been so basic and boring.
Basic, almost irrelevant and stuff like that. So you'll be surprised that some of the things that are in your imagination are ever big they are.
Yes, sir.
When they come to reality, they become simple. The world adjusts to it. So imagination is so powerful that it actually is the word that creates the world to be.
Yes, sir.
So I think for me, if I'm listening to someone that is looking for investment or stuff like that, I want to see their imagination. Are they able to think again? And I'm being careful of using the word outside of the box.
Yes, sir.
Because it's so used that people actually think they are thinking outside of the box once they are in the box. You know. So and like I rounded up with yesterday, your imagine wired to daydream in a certain way.
Yeah. Only you can daydream
in that way. Yeah. So one of the things the community has done to us is it then made that look stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're going to make money from the masses, you have to make them think the same way.
Yes, sir.
They all have to just think the same way, so that they are in the system, then the system makes money.
Yes, sir.
If they start thinking differently, they become their own person.
Yes, sir.
So I think first investment strategy or philosophy for me is how wide is your imagination?
I think that's and I'm gonna sort of give you like thoughts that I have regarding imagination. It's a daring word to share because it's almost like everything around you cages your imagination.
Yeah. Everything outward.
Everything outward.
Yeah.
And you associated imagination to new worlds.
Yeah.
Yesterday, and it's almost like if you want to forge into a new world, I think you said out of the box, but yesterday you said out of sync.
Out of sync, in sync.
In sync.
Yeah.
So then, my thought is, how does someone, break out of being caged?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, let's say you use a young person for example. You're growing up in your parents' house.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're coming to a church like Spat Nation, Nation Family, and then inside of you, there's almost like an explosion. You're beginning to see things differently. You're piecing things differently based on the words you're hearing and the things you're doing.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, maybe comes mom, dad, brother, sister to tell you why you thinking like this.
Why you thinking? Yeah.
How does someone then break out, and how does someone also feel confident enough to know that they're not being over dramatic?
Yeah.
You
have to be over dramatic.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it's cool to be over dramatic because when you actually then think about over dramatic, when it becomes in court, if it becomes a reality,
yes, sir,
then it is no longer dramatic. This in 1947, Justice Cover is very dramatic.
Yeah, okay, I understand that.
It's complete nonsense.
Yes.
Even to them, they'll say, well, why? You're going to put white and then you're going to put, you have the original cover and then you're going to put something
on top of it. Yeah.
What's going on? So it is over dramatic. So be over dramatic first and have the right leadership to then help you.
Okay.
To help you channel that to productivity.
Yeah.
If you don't if you're not, again in quote now, again it's over dramatic, and
Yes,
it's over dramatic based on your own current environment. The Bill Gates of this world, the Mark Zuckerberg of this world, I think that their environment, even though what they set out to do was eccentric,
Yes, sir.
I still think their environment empowered that. Some of their parents were already in certain things.
Yes, sir.
But if they didn't come, and a young boy from the ends wants to be there,
Yes, sir.
the parents and the system will kill it.
Yeah.
Because that again is over dramatic.
Yeah.
It is, what are you trying to be?
Yes, sir.
You imagine people say things like, oh, so you want to change the world. Like,
Why? How?
why? Yeah. And that sounds like, for me, I'm thinking, so those who did, do they have two heads?
Yeah.
Why are they different? So, as a parent,
Yeah.
a parent, and this is a bit digressing, but it's important digression. A parent must be the first investor in their kid.
Okay.
Now, putting them in the system does not make you an investor.
Yeah.
Getting what is inside them out is what makes you an investor.
Okay, so then let me interrupt there. I have two thoughts here.
Yeah.
Two thoughts is, number one, there's words like sense,
Yeah.
things make sense,
Yeah.
and there's also stupidity.
Okay.
Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is simple. How do you know, and is it okay for your imagination to be stupid to the outward world?
Yeah.
Or does it have to still make sense? I mean, and let me not use imagination, because the world you are seeing,
Yeah.
is it okay for it to look stupid to the outward world? Because, like, for example, you said, why shouldn't we believe that we can change the world?
Yeah.
Why can't we believe that the people that changed the world, when you want to talk about maybe people like Mandela changing South Africa, or those guys that made impact in the world, is it okay for your ideas to be your world, the world you are seeing, to look stupid to everybody else? Or does it need to make sense? Because you're going to present it to leadership. What if leadership thinks it looks stupid?
Well, again, this is how I would think about it. If my ideas and thoughts and imaginations are stupid, what have I got to lose?
Okay.
Like, it cost me nothing. It was free in the first place.
That's true.
And trying to achieve it might cost me my life, or my comfort, or my youth, whatever the case may be, in certain situations. But I've got nothing to lose, because you see people here, they will judge you anyway. So you might as well.
That's true.
If you one of the strongest things that I know people battle with, I know people still battle with it, no matter what they say, is they want to be accepted.
Yeah.
People, if you have money, people accept you. Let me just say that for now. Yeah. But in real terms now, in the terms of what we're talking about, either the idea is stupid or not, and of course, stupid can be destroying people's life and all that. That's not what we're talking about.
Sir.
We're talking about imaginations that have been activated towards changing the life of people for the better, or even towards changing your own life for the better, whatever the case may be.
Making impact in the world, or your family, or anything.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So you have to decide your own journey. Now, when you present it to leadership, and that's why I keep saying that, hopefully, number one, I know all the leadership in the nation family. But if you are not in the nation family also, or you have leadership outside of the nation family, hopefully you have a kind of leadership that can, of course, disagree with certain things. And then think about it and say, yeah, what you were saying the other day, there are ideas people have shared with me, some of your brothers or sisters. And of course, at first, maybe I disagree, then I agree, then I disagree. But my disagreement has never been, no, this is stupid. No, I don't do things like that. I'm asking them questions. I'm going back to think about it. Then I come back to agree. Then I go back to disagree.
Yes, sir.
And I think what that does is that it makes you develop ways. So most times when I've seen people that that claim to have ideas, they are not ready for those ideas to be question tested.
Yes, sir.
Like sit down And because in those questions you also go back, the more you're questioned or interrogated, the more that happens.
Yes,
Guess
sir.
what happens? You begin to shape the imagination or ideas more to a place where it can become productive and seeable.
Yes, sir.
And you can create substance.
Yes, sir.
Because that debate group, what it does is that it brings it to fruition.
Yeah.
It brings it from the realm of imagination
Yes, sir.
to the realm of productivity.
Yes, sir.
And so, if you don't break out of your community, which is first of all mental,
Yes, sir.
you won't break out of the physical one.
That's a difficult statement. Breaking out of your community.
Yeah.
You said people want to be accepted.
Yeah.
So then that also then brings people to a place, all of us really, to a place where opinions matter to us.
Yeah.
As well. So what would you then say? And we still got the questions here, but I'm gonna just ask this first. What would you then say is the foundation or the method to breaking out of community? How do you know when someone has broken out of community?
Maybe we should first of all emphasize, and that question is right, but we should first of all emphasize the fact that there's no two ways. You have to, because if you know that something has to happen, like there's no shortcut.
Yes, sir.
Then you will find a way.
Yeah.
But if
That's
I
true.
tell you ways, if I tell you 7 ways,
Yeah.
if something keeps telling you, you can be fine.
Yeah.
You can just merge both. Of course, I know you love Peter, you're listening
Yes,
to,
sir.
but you still go back to his and you'll be fine. I've never seen any of them succeed.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And I have like tens and tens of examples since I've been pastoring, even to recently.
Yeah.
And I was saying something. Anyway, let me leave that so that I
Don't leave us with half of the truth. So if you
I'm
need
gonna
to,
think, I've also been careful to not spoil someone's bank holiday.
Before you continue, sir, I just want to put another thought there as well. Nation family is kind of a cheat code. For people if they choose to accept it. You can break out of a community easier because there's another community that you can enter into. But then how do you, I've already asked this question, but there was something you just said now I need to emphasize on. You said that people can try and mix both worlds. They can have a community that they're coming from, and they can also be listening to you and say, "Well, I'll be fine. But don't you feel as if you do have options? I mean, your community presents options to you on a daily basis. Areas of comfort. You might be living at mom's house, and stuff like that. How does someone then put themselves in a position where they feel like they have zero choice but to break out of the community?
That's what I'm saying. They have to know.
Yes, sir.
Like, if we want to start from biblical grounds, the symbol of blessing in the Christian faith, even in the Jewish faith, in Judaism, and in Christianity at least, even in Islam to an extent, is Abraham.
Yes, sir. Okay.
That's the guy we all look at as the symbol of blessing. Like, this guy is rich, this guy is blessed, right?
Yeah.
And he is also the father of faith. Now, of course, the first thing was God said, "Come out of your father's house."
Yes, sir.
So it's like, this is scientific.
Yeah.
I've discovered something about the Bible. The Bible is like God's science. Because I was reading something this morning. He said, if I want to destroy a place, if the people repent. Now, God is trying to say that this is not going to be a cosmic thing. We're going to do this scientifically.
Yes,
so
sir.
Prophets in the Bible are actually God's scientists, because they read the mind and say, if this happens, this will happen.
Sir.
If this happens, this will happen.
Yeah.
Unlike what religion taught us, things will just happen. We call it miracles. But back to Abraham, is the science. The first thing to the blessing was, come out of your father's house. So, but this is what Abraham did. Abraham did not go into an abandonment of family. He says, "Come with me." He says, "Come with me," and most of his family people journeyed with him, because they were also looking for something. So when God called him, they started going. What just happened was, they were all on a journey together before, but Abraham's journey started going left, and they planned to go right.
Yeah.
And they followed it. So it is about who is following.
Yeah.
If in my heart of heart, my mind of mind, I found a community. And it's simple to find a community. I think we make things too spiritual.
Yes.
It is actually basic.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing is it what I want to become. Then you don't then look at it and say how perfect or imperfect it is. It's like people following Abraham on a journey and thinking, is this journey perfect? The guy don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
He's just got faith and he's got a call.
Yes, sir.
And then they followed it. So I think before we even talk about the ways to do it,
yes, sir,
you have to understand that there's no other way. If you like, you can go and pick up Mark Zuckerberg's book or pick up any of the rich guy, Elon Musk. But remember that these guys had a community.
Yes,
they were already on a journey. Max one or any of these guys just went hopper. Their moms and dads were already on the board of Harvard or something.
They were already in an environment, a community.
That's their own community. Steve Jobs, and they were all in a community. So imagine a guy growing up in the ends. And thinks, well, you know, I don't need a community, I'll just be fine. You better be one of the 1 million rappers that make it or one of the 3 million footballers. Or whatever else that is basic. But if you're not that person, you feel like you don't have great talent or great ability and stuff like that, this is going to help you. And if this helps you, right, you'll be the guy employing the footballers. So I've always told people, if you don't feel like you have the talent, if you don't feel like you have the rapping stuff, it just means that you are the guy called to pay their, to give them their paycheck.
Do you think then, this is the definition I got of community when you were just speaking. Building your life around other people. That's what I got as the definition of community. Do you think that is the cheat code into making sure that everybody becomes successful? And can everybody be successful?
Everybody should be successful. I think everybody was created to fulfill a purpose.
Fulfill a purpose, yes, sir.
So everybody should be successful. If it's I think that's the design of the ultimate creator.
Yes, sir.
Is that everyone comes to the world with a purpose. Every single person. I think what happens is just like man polluted the earth. What happens is we pollute everything. So, and the greatest pollution cannot be climate situation. It's men. Because there won't even be climate pollution without men doing it. It's men. So the fundamental crisis. So it bothers me when people say nothing is wrong with Nigeria or Nigerians. I'm like, okay, so Nigeria is just the geographical location that exists by itself. It just it's like the land just does its own thing. Definitely something is wrong with the people.
I've been seeing statements like that.
It is nonsensical. It is nonsensical and political. So the one saying is something is wrong with you, and then you want people to just buy into you and all that. Definitely something is wrong with the people. The people are apart from the fact that the people are the people who vote, they are leaders. The leaders come from among them. It's not like they pick somebody from the sky.
They're from the same environment.
From the same environment.
And most importantly, could be from the same ideology.
100%. 100%. So, again, I think everyone who is going to make impact or be successful or make money, you understand that it's either you set up your own discomfort or discomfort chooses you. So those who don't talk about money early in life, they look for money later in life.
That's interesting, because it's like if we're not talking about money, then it sets us as a disadvantage. But is there such a thing, and I've got the question here, is there such a thing as getting carried away with talking about money or making money?
You will be carried away. People get carried away with boyfriend or girlfriend.
That's true.
That. They've lost their head because they say, I'm in love with him. You know the love thing people believe. They say, I love him. So they are gone. So, or and many other things that people get carried away with.
Yeah.
So if you don't have purpose for a thing, anything will carry you away.
Okay.
Any single thing. So I would rather that a child is obsessed with legit money making situation and be carried away with that if that's it. You know, than a girl growing up in the street and it is in vogue that they all have boyfriend at 15 and they are carried away with that. No, be carried away with making money. If there's such a word as being carried away.
Yeah.
I just think that what happens to people is it is not the money that carries them away. It is the rush they get from having it.
Yeah.
So, and how do you limit rush? It is purpose.
Yes, sir.
If so, you teach a child why they are to make 10,000 a month.
Yeah.
If they understand why.
Yeah.
And then they understand how powerful money is. So most times people don't understand how powerful money is. Then it comes, then they discover the power.
Yes, sir.
Then they get carried away because it's like, wow, this is like a superpower.
Yeah.
Money is the most important superpower in the world. You know.
Wow.
And what regulates that is purpose.
Do you think there's an age where it's too late to teach somebody why to make money?
Do I think it's too late? No, I don't think so.
Because let me explain my reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
You could have grown up in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, maybe had limitations.
Yeah.
And then when money comes, it's, you know, you behave a certain way because of where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Do you think that it might be too late to change some of those behaviors in people, or can purpose always realign somebody to why to make money?
I have a general, and how do I say this now? Reservation about learning when a man is old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that old for me again is not age. There are some older people with a certain open-mindedness.
Yeah.
Very few though. Very, very few. And even those few have realized that they've always been like that from their childhood.
Yeah.
You know, so, but if you're talking about generally someone that is grown, I won't spend time trying to teach them anything because I don't think the structure they've created with their lives can accommodate new stuff. Because your structure why can we reach out to young people like this and they are living like this? Because most of them have not already committed to certain things.
Yeah.
How do you take risk? How do you get strong? How do you enter discomfort if you already have 2-3 kids? And you're already in the community of kids, so they have to go on holiday. You're paying for bus ticket, all the things they do in school, and then you have to build a community also. So they already have those things, and these are the things our community push us into, almost prematurely, almost too early. People from where I come from, people give birth to children hoping that they actually say that the head of the child will bring wealth. I said, say what? I said the child will bring wealth. Because they've heard me when people say, when I get back to my posture, my door's open. You're tapped because you're giving birth to unplanned children. That's why they have planned parenthood.
So they say that giving birth to this child will bring wealth.
It's a crazy thought. You won't even find one of it in the Bible, by the way. So I don't know. These guys say they are Christians, and then you discover that all of a sudden they also believe in their tradition. Because there's nothing like that in scriptures, right?
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, unless you choose your own discomfort, then discomfort will choose you at a later age. So again, you see a person who just goes to work, you're 60, you're 50 something, just go to work and come back, and you're thinking, for what to happen exactly? Like, I wish I can sit you down to say, do you just know that you're just living to die? Like you're just alive, just waiting for death. Because that means you're on a path of no impact in this world. You're just going to go to that work and then die one day. It makes no sense. So a person revolts at a point in their life.
Yes, sir.
And for me, it is younger people that you can teach this kind of revolution or rebellion, if you may say, to rebel against a normal standard life. But again, my issue is when you're already certain age, your ideology is already faulted.
Yes, sir.
Number two, the structure of your life cannot accommodate certain risk taking. And even those who are young, this girl has gone to get herself a child. So I'm not. We all make mistakes, and you know I'm the last person to judge someone's mistake. But there are some mistakes that are eternally expensive.
Wow.
So I've always, when I've met single moms and stuff, I've always said, you do know you would have to work triple. So you can't also get into, because I know what single moms get into. They get into this emotional pity me kind of thing. It's BS. Bible study. You know? It's complete BS. Because now you want everybody to pity you. Because don't you see, I'm my child, you're going to end up suffering because the people you left that don't have as much commitment as you, they are not sleeping.
Yes, sir.
They are your competitors. So when we tell people not to do certain things, I think what comes to their mind sometimes is, he's a pastor, wants me to be holy before God and to make heaven.
Yes, sir.
Listen, sis, I don't give a damn if you make heaven.
I think
it's not my business.
You said it kind of when and this is one of the amazing things about you, sir. Not just to big you up, but it's about explaining what we've seen in biblical terms. On a practical level. You just said something that I found so profound. You said you got to choose your own discomfort before discomfort at a later age in life chooses you. And I think that's one of the things where you'll say a generation that is able to stay away from certain things because they've chose their discomfort. But then also, I think aside from looking at the example of a young lady that has a child, no longer able to maybe be at risk, as risk averse as they need to be. The other thing that we were discussing was the purpose of why people need to make money as well. So in choosing this discomfort, what would you say would be your maybe 3 discomforts that you would choose, especially if you want to, I'm trying to tie it into a question here, if you want to choose the best ways to build value which can lead to making money?
Well, I think first discomfort you must choose is to agree not to live the normal life. Agree that there's a time in your life that everybody will be doing certain things and it will look like that's what people do at that age. Agree not to do it. So those of you, especially those that just came to the Nation family, you may have a complete misconception of a PT. You may see going out, you may see nice work. What I agreed at the early part, and my early part is almost very late. I think I just got into a new ideology at the tail end. Even though as a child, I've always thought differently. But 25 was that make or break. And so I knew that for many years I would be the stay-at-home guy. So I was seeing all my friends who are still around today, still doing the same thing, whatever they do, you know, to make money in their lives. I just agreed not to do what they're doing. I agreed that yes, they are gonna have all the nice cars and lovely stuff. And I agreed that I'm just gonna put my bag on my neck and just go do kitchen potting. So that I can have money to sow into Spark. It's just simple. Then they agreed to live that life. They had in those days some big Versace belts. You know, some of them still wearing it till now.
The same belt.
The same
old
belt.
Season.
Old season. You know, some of them, and of course at this stage, some of them have done their illegit stuff and become bigger. But then they will have to look up to me because the way they were doing their things before I even got here. And the way I can be ahead of them is to build a community. But if I'm going to do that, I have to choose discomfort.
Sorry, I've got so many questions for you because I don't want anybody at home or watching wherever they are to just take certain words lightly. You know, I think before when I used to hear you say like working as a kitchen potter to fund SPAC at the time. Yeah. Until I really thought about it, I didn't realize how deep that is. Yeah. Because you're doing something that was probably hours and hours of labor. And then after that, you're putting it back into something.
100%.
There's something you said a while back. You said just because you are uncomfortable does not mean you're not conquering.
Yeah.
Now, how do you, when you're in discomfort, what are you supposed to be looking at? Because that's uncomfortable.
But you won't feel it.
Okay.
If it is purpose driven.
Yes, sir.
Because remember, how do I say this now? Looking back, it's a deep thing.
Yeah.
From kitchen potting to being the computer
yes,
boy.
Sir.
And if you know where I'm coming from, my family background wise, I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
So there'll be people who tell me, no, my structure cannot even get employment.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking, I'm looking at them. I've met people like that over the years. I'm saying it is my own structure because I come from a very comfortable background. Very, very comfortable. I didn't have to look for money to get a car when I was going to school. I was given one. So I didn't have to do it. And I think that's the makeup, the makeup of the mind. How do I say this? Yeah, you know, like you make up your face and stuff. The way my own mind was made was, it was so vision oriented. That even if I'm standing 8 hours, 9 hours, you know, sometimes, and that means you have to walk to the workplace. I was living in Camberwell then, Camberwell Peckham, and walk to Bermondsey. That's not as far as Thamesmead and all that. But you won't feel it because the adrenaline of the vision, it's like you're already in the future. So whatever, I didn't see myself as a kitchen potter. I didn't see myself as a computer boy. And that made me to be able to do it.
Yes, sir.
So if you really see people who don't see themselves as it, they will take it up. Those who don't take it up, they see themselves as it. They are trying to run from it. They are trying to, they feel that job degrades them.
I get you.
So, but for me, I'm washing the plate. I didn't see it. It's just, look, at the end of the day, at the end of the month, we've got some bills to pay, and I'm not going to fold my hands and say, I didn't give because I didn't have, and I'm sure everybody understands that. I just know life doesn't work that way. Life never, ever works like, I don't give, so I don't have, so I don't give, but things understand that, hey, guys, when I have, wow, rubbish. I just, imagine, from 25, I just know life doesn't work that way.
Wow.
It can,
this is I'm seeing this like a superhuman power, and the reason why is simple. I was younger, and I also felt like I needed to, I had an expression in me, but I chose crime at a young age. But I knew I was looking for something. So how were you able to see ahead, and does everybody see ahead, or do you need to channel yourself to be able to maybe attach to someone like you? Because I'm just thinking about it. You were doing kitchen boy, and sorry, this is what's just going in my mind at the moment. Adrenaline towards church. Is that what you saw, or was it something, you know? Because in my mind at the time, church is just like pastor going to church, clapping hands and praising God. Is that what you saw, or is it something a bit deeper than that? I don't know.
I think it's way deeper than that. But the expression of it that I could have then is church.
Okay.
But imagine, as a computer guy, the first time we ever met the guy who owns the computer place that I ended up working at, I just attached to him because it's an uncle who looks to be doing well in the area. And for me, we just thought, and Reverend D as well. So we wrote all his business plan, restructured everything for him. We just thought like, the only thing we knew then was like church as an expression to reach the community. If we had known something else, we would have. So it's gathering people that we were looking for. It wasn't church. But the expression we had was church. So, but whatever was driving me deep on the inside, why a young man would pick up his bag and go do kitchen potting, would open up that roller shutter in Peckham and open the shop and talk to the young people there and use whatever money we could get from there to support anyone that we could support at the time, is just because my heart was looking for community. You see, that work, either it's the kitchen potting one, or it's the computer boy one. I did not feel it. Now it looks like work. But I didn't, and I wish to even say I was not a lazy person. I think I was lazy. But there is another sense that drives you if you have become something. So I've become it, then I walked back.
Yes, sir.
If you get what I mean.
Yes,
so
sir.
my mind is, in quote, proud enough to know that what you people thinking, I'm not a kitchen potter. But that did not stop me from kitchen potting.
So you kind of saw what you've become, but at the same time, you now know that there's a journey to become what you've seen. So I'm thinking though, but you said something and you've repeated it. Even though you were doing this, you didn't feel it. You didn't feel it. You were working in areas that some other people will consider degrading. But you did it and you didn't feel that you were walking to work sometimes, but you didn't feel it. So if you are feeling what you're doing, are you doing the right thing?
You're doing the right thing, but with the wrong attitude.
Okay.
Now, remember also that there will be people who were my work colleagues, kitchen potting and all that, who are doing it to get a mortgage. Reasons are the issue. Reasons why.
Reasons, motives, things
motives. Like that. Why are you doing? Because if you're doing it for that, you get tired. Now, a normal person in the Nation family, either you're Phoebe Givers Club, you should be proud of one thing, that you're seeing your money. You're seeing it. You're seeing the effect of it. You know, I came out of the restaurant yesterday, and then this is so funny though, because the guy was in his cab, nice cab.
I saw the video.
Okay, private plate, one of them new, whatever sports car it is. So I was standing talking to CK. So the guy saw CK. I said, "Oh, wow, CK, that older guy." Oh, CK, blah, blah, blah. Then he looked for that and he saw me. He said, "That's Pastor Tobi." Then he said, he jumped out of his car. And the guy was, that hug you saw was like 15. Endless. I'm coming somewhere with it. So PK says to me, PK said, you know the man you used to talk about, Uncle Ben, I talk about Uncle Ben. He said, those are the boys he said, those are the major gods of bricks. He said, this guy is the guy. But the guy said to me, he said, you see how God works? He said, how does he work? He said, I crashed into a car and I was running from the car like, I'm not going to stop. And then I ran into you. I said, wow, what a testimony. Like, can you go back and surrender? But then I realized that there are people, like hundreds, I just stood there maybe for 3-4 minutes. Of course, the whole street, everyone, Tobi, Pastor, whatever. You're reaching a community that the church can never reach. So PK says to me, I've not spoken to the guy for years, but in those days, blah, 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 blah. That guy really knows everybody. Really, that PK guy. So he says, but the guy said, look, I want to go to church. It says to PK before, I want to go to church. He said, but there's no church that can take me, because if I confess to the priest, he said the priest is going to say, I may have to give you. He said, there's no way in the world. And I can see, I see the private plate, I see everything. But what I'm saying is, you see, it had not become this big then, right? But you see, for me, the young guys on Queens Road and all that, I'm able to talk to when they're on their computer. And by talk to, it's not going to tell them, more change your ways. I didn't even know their ways. I didn't know they were doing computer for whatever. I didn't know. I was oblivious to that world. It is just being there, and they looking at me like a leader already. I was a computer boy. Those guys just saw me as a leader of some sort, and they don't know what it is, but they know I'm a leader. We're seeing our resources. If that's the driving force, whatever job you do or don't do will not matter. This is why people the Asian community, they can be bus drivers, they can be corner shop owners, and they are building a community and building their kids. They won't feel the pain. To own a corner shop is mad, morning till night, but they will do it. I think our parents did that for church. It's just that the leaders were dumb. They're good guys, anointed guys, but they were not smart. They did not see it. They did. They gave tithe and offering, whatever they call those stuff that they give in those carcass. They gave it. But their attention was not real estate. It was just to buy a church building because it fits into something else. So, and our parents, they were proud when the church bought they were happy. It was a driving force, and it made them do stuff. It's just unfortunate that the leaders couldn't see beyond their nose. They couldn't see the community, even though that was a community there. So what I'm saying is, I didn't feel it as a kitchen porter. I didn't feel the pain, and it was a very painful job. I didn't feel it because there was a driving force that was bigger than that moment.
Okay. I'm going to take us into the mind of an 18-year-old right now, watching and probably a part of the Nation family. I'm starting a business because I've heard everything you said. I'm starting it, and I've been encouraged to. I've got the right mind to. I'm now beginning to make money. Let's say small money. That could be like £200 a month, £400 a month, whatever it is. Or it could be £40,000 a month. It doesn't matter. But what I'm saying now is, if you were a 20-year-old and you're not PT, you're the 20-year-old. What do you do as the 20-year-old looking in, being a part of the nation and wanting to play a pivotal role in the nation?
Just be there. So, like, I love the receipt that they did yesterday. It costs you your life. There is, let me tell you, there is nothing that is going to be impactful, big, change the world, that will not take some people's lives. There's no way in the world. Even let's say there are known churches now, and I've deliberately not been following church stuff so that I don't keep saying what is wrong about churches. Even churches, it took some people's, the foundational people, it took their lives to build it to wherever it is today. So, be there, and if you, I just believe in systems and the system. If you give your whole life to something, it will give you your whole life back. It will, whatever you build, builds you. And I think those are the fundamental things I started teaching you guys then. If you build this today, it will build you eventually. And that's what we're seeing in our whole lives now. So an 18-year-old, I won't be driven to go and get a house and get a trainers and get that. Of course, the nature and the temperature or the character of the Nation family, we have to look a certain way. I get that. And that's standard, and that should be that. But we know why. We know why. And again, in case you're saying, but I don't know why, I'm saying there are people. This guy kept hugging me and saying, the man himself, there are people who will never come to church. Imagine that kind of a guy. You're not so winning him to come into H1 with 1,000 people. He has a life. There are people who rate a PT and rate Spark Nation so deeply that they don't have a forum to even move near, and that's the issue. And they are big in their own world. They are lots in their own world. So they're not going to come to an auditorium and sit next to, you know how we pack our chairs. It's not going to. Never. Come on, man. I'm a big man on my own. You know, eventually, everyone comes around something. In their own way, and that's where the 18-year-old. It may not be when he or she is 18. It may be when they are 25. But that's when doors open to them, because your leaders are able to connect with those people and open bigger doors. But it will never just happen that, well, I'll just hang around. I will really do nothing, but I'll hang around. Be there and use everything you have to participate.
So can I add another question here then? Because there's a question here that says, how do you stay focused with your education whilst everyone is making money? But I want to put a twist on that. I'm 18 years old, I'm in the nation, or I'm 20, however much old. And we actually have a generation who has earlier in life they make money, whether through legitimate means or whatever, they're making money.
Yeah.
So how does a young person stay focused whilst everyone else around them is making money?
Just you've got to know why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay.
I think Pastor Daniel Jr. was telling me yesterday they finished their Oxford conference or so, and they concluded, or one of the lecturers or speech givers or panel concluded that education is not as important as it used to be.
Wow.
The future is not that kind of education. In Oxford Uni, even them, you understand. Skill, ability over education.
Wow.
However, I guess so sometimes you're forced to be in something because your parent will not be happy. If you make money, they will be happy, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the issue. They will be happy, they will be humble, they will be all of those things. But if they don't think you have the ability to do that, probably maybe you don't, or probably you do. But let's now assume, based on everything I've said, that the person speaking here is in education and they want to be in education.
Yeah.
Again, why would you see money if you see purpose? Because that's still the question. If you can see why you're doing something, why would money come to your to your attention? Of course, you do need money as a student to survive daily. But if you know that the education you are in has a bigger purpose than temporary money or whatever you think people are making, then you will not even think about this. And then if you feel like making money is your core, then leave the education and go make the money.
Yeah. But I feel like maybe a lot of young people struggle to be able to see why early. I think survival is what has been drummed into a lot of young people.
So the education can be survival, meaning you're trying to survive to be relevant to your parents, or
to even to, you know, the old system, even though like Oxford University, there's always going to be forward thinkers there. They're looking into the new world. So they would already clock early that education is not, you know, and then of course Nation Family has been saying it for a very long time. But the issue could be that there's still an old system at home. Old system tells you if you don't go to education,
come out of your father's house. People who shouldn't.
Yes.
Education is your own thing.
Yeah.
I strongly even doubt what I just said. I strongly doubt it. There are some people who are academics. And in the Nation Family, I'm not sure I've met 3. Let me just be plain. And that's not, I just know you're not academic. I know you're not, you know. But if you're academic, don't get discouraged. I think my own points to the answer of that question is, if you can't find purpose to a thing, if money becomes the driving force, then that's wrong. Money cannot become the driving force. So if you're in education and you enjoy it, and you love what you're studying, and you can see the future of it, then why would you think about, well, if you're in education and you're doing it well, even when it is for fun, even when it is for fun, you will make money. I read the story of some 7 new billionaires now from US. They are new billionaires, 7. They didn't want to make money at all. There are certain things that you do and the byproduct of it is money making. So when we talk about money talk, my own core of it is purpose life.
Yes, sir.
So because there are some things that inevitably you're just gonna make money anyway. So these guys, they are now called Americans accidental billionaires.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask, is the one where the billionaires that became billionaires by accident? Also. But just quickly.
Don't help me put me okay. Who did this? Sorry, guys.
No. Let's change that.
The imagination. It's not wrong. But anyway,
So my question then, I mean, because there's not even a question here; it's a definition. Money making. I can see you're disappointed with that. So let's try again, shall we?
Okay, thank you. Let's go.
So my question or definition then is, because you've just defined money making to have purpose behind it. Because one of the things that we can find is that there are a lot of people who money is their driving force. Even when they hear words. They hear money.
Money, yeah.
And then they hear that's their driving
And
force.
I think there are some people who are just money people,
Okay.
yeah? And some people will say, okay, I want to be money people.
Yeah.
You won't still have it. You can go to bed thinking money, wake up thinking, you still won't have it.
Okay.
Unless you have a product.
Yes, sir. So do money people, so if I am a money person,
Yeah.
what do I do? Because I'm a money person. Do I attach to somebody? What is my own, because money can't just be the driving force. There must be a reason behind
for people who are real money people, right?
Yeah.
Money is not the driving force.
Okay.
It's the expression
Okay.
of what is driving them.
Okay.
A purpose.
Okay.
There's
I
something in
understand.
them that is bigger.
Yeah.
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 But a person who is in education who then looks at someone who is always around money or has a way to make money and say, oh, how do I stay focused?
Yeah.
No. That focus, what you love, is how you will make that money.
Okay. Okay.
So
I understand that.
unless you don't have a community that teaches you or make you aware of money, then you will become a medical doctor, passionate about doctoring. But you see, no matter how much a doctor Emma is passionate about surgery and slitting people's body and stuff like that, no matter how passionate she is about it, because she's in a poor family, she can be doing that doctoring thing for like 10 years. But every day she wakes up, she's hearing about money, target, seed, blah, blah, blah. She will find something. It could be 1 year after her surgery and stuff, or 10 years after. She will find something and clock. Okay, I cannot make money really, or someone around. And so that's why you're right. You will attach yourself to something. Somebody around will give you an inroad into how to be a medical doctor billionaire, because you're around something.
Okay.
And it's not going to be suggestion. God will place and has placed in the family just some certain kind of people from all trends of human endeavor. And the accumulation of it, because either you're a politician or you're a doctor or if you're in the family, you have to meet a target. Even if you're a counselor. So again, it may take time, or lesser time or longer time. You will clock something about how to use your own trade to make money. So don't abandon, if you're an education person, don't abandon that to now say, let me go No, if we don't have the tool that Dr. Emma has, which is her surgery or stuff, we don't know what to even teach her money making, because there's no tool. Otherwise, people will think that money making means generating like 10,000 ideas in your head and talking about it. That's not money making.
Okay, based on the definition that you're now bringing to light, is making money, and what I mean now is liquidity, like making cash. Is it by accident?
No, I think it's scientific.
Okay.
I think there's a science to it. But that science will look accidental to anyone who does not know the science of it.
Okay.
That's what I think. I think that, let me tell you, one day, I wanted to sew. And I needed to sew 100K.
Yes, sir.
100K was my own target for that month. So I woke up, I thought, I don't even have 1K. But I understand the science of it. I understand if I go to so person and say, we can put this here and put this here. You make some money here, And that's exactly what happened. Now, you call that accidental, but there's so much science behind it. I have ideas.
Yes, sir.
You understand? But again, I've met so many people with millions of ideas. It does not make them money makers. Accidentally, just happens that my tool, I'm a pastor, I get to know people, and I'm able to see those people beyond what they see themselves as, and I'm able to activate something in them. And now, in this particular case, and that's not the first time or second time, in this particular case, I know what this person can produce and what can happen with these and all those stuff. So I'm just saying that to the person outside, money is accidental. To you, it's scientific. And then you grow over time to know this got nothing to do with ideas. Imaginations, yes. Skill, most important. And if you continue to pursue an instrument that is in your head, In my own case, is raising leaders and pastoring. Same with you.
Yes,
in the PO's case, it's logistic. In da. If you can turn that thing, if you can make it from £1 into £1,000,
yes, sir,
I'll start listening to your idea.
Yeah.
The science of the money making is coming. The same way, if you can go to school and you can remain in the community, in the nation family community in this case, or whatever community you belong to, and you can start year 1 and end year 3, finish, then I already know your character. You can turn 0 to something. And that's how we build. Because remember, I know people who actually work in the city. And they've given up to $1 million. Normally, working in the city, normal people can never in their lifetime come up with that. So how possible is that? It's just you stayed in something and you are within a community that keeps aiming for a target.
Yes, sir.
And it's so scientific. This is what I'm trying to say. It's so scientific that community plus having a tool, that tool can your idea and your tool cannot be in your mind. This is the issue. Usually people's idea and tool are in their mind. That's where they exist. So we're looking for, God made man homophobia so that he can have tools to work. So I'm asking this guy, yes, this idea, but where is the tool? Even if it's a 0 tool and it's non-existent.
And there's so can I just throw in another question? While we're on this topic of money making being scientific, but looking to the community as if it was accidental.
Right.
Can I throw in this question? Is from someone. It says, how do I make more money outside of my salary job? Because you've been talking about the science of money making. Based on what you're saying, I thought it was important to throw this in because it's almost as if you're kind of touching on it already, but I wanted to allow you to direct your words towards this question specifically.
Community is power. Look, the thing is, a person has an idea, and you need $1 million to fund it, but you have no community. Where are you going to go to? You need 1,000 to fund it. Where are you going to go to? Some people, especially Americans in most cases, and of course some people here and around the world, they already have parents. Some very, very scarce. They have parents that can give them access, either to certain people or to certain funding. Is access. So no matter how good you think you are in something, everyone that you think would help you, they already have their own group of people that they trust, because the world is treacherous. They're not bringing you into their community. And hence why we said, you know what, we're going to build our own community. If we have 300, 400 active people, upwardly mobile young men, all you just need to do is to wait, because you know, and that's why I always say, imagine if I'm in this community, a P whatever has borrowed 10K for me to try a business and it didn't work. I'm not going to fight them. I must be the most idiotic person to fight. Because that guy seemed to have chosen a path. He will break through one day. So I've just got to keep rearranging my business ideas with them. It will break through. Number one, it's got all the right investment. It's got community and it's got age. Those are the two things I will look at. Age and community. Who do you have access to? The person may not be a billionaire today, but they are progressing. Access. Let me tell you, what this community will regret the most is they will think they are throwing stones at Spark Nation, blah, blah, blah. But what they don't know is that the stones open us up to a community that now sees us as strong people. Those who really have money, have enormous respect for you. Either they have the money, legit or illegit, they look up to you. When they see a PT somewhere, they're saying, that's the money, let's go talk to him. They park their cars, you're talking whatever kind of, they park it and want to talk to PT. I've been in Novikov and people, you can see what kind of life these guys live. They're walking and they say, PT, I can take your number. There's money to be made. Let's talk. I'm thinking, no, man. I can't give you money. No, but they see it. So what I'm saying is that eventually, all of you, that community becomes strong. That's 300-400 people with access. And access is what people struggle for. So people will then say, you know, people have emailed Instagram me and say, oh, I used to be friends with Pastor Sam. If you can connect me, there's so business. I'm thinking, I don't think so. And the person is saying, can I enter this contest to win $500?
Yeah.
You used to be Pastor Sam's friend, really? So then all of a sudden, look at the nation in 5-6 years. People will regret and say, I used to have access.
Yes.
Because they didn't value access. They don't know. Isn't it today people want to say, oh, I wish I can just meet Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
I wish I can just meet so-and-so. They already have their own. I don't want to meet Mark Zuckerberg. If I ever meet him, I just want to have a share and say, hey, how are you, Mark? And then we talk, and go home. I don't want to meet him for business breakthrough. You know why? He won't give me. There's no billionaire that you meet that will give you something.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a billionaire yet, or probably I am. I just don't know. But no matter what business idea someone is bringing me, I'm just going to be laughing.
Okay,
because I've seen, you understand, and I have a community. It is what it is. So now, to look at it, by the time you guys start having multi-millions and billions, there is nothing anybody is telling you from anywhere. You're just going to look at them. You will then do charity stuff. That's what newspaper. You'll say Pastor Sam is giving 10 million to They'll just print it in newspaper. You wouldn't care less.
Yeah. But do you think then, so if you're, let me take you now into a professional outlook.
Yeah.
Maybe not the days of kitchen potting, but just the days of, like let's say you were a professional in the city, for example. Because you've just mentioned that, there are people in the city that have given over $1 million.
Yeah.
If you're a professional, then where do you position yourself? How do you position yourself? Because you want to try and make more money outside of your salary. But then how do you position yourself? I think you mentioned some key points. You look at, let's say, your Pastor Sam or Pastor Onyi, you see that they're trying, they're doing things, they're going to break through. But then how do you position yourself within that circle to make sure that you don't lose access, and then also to make sure that you are positioned rightly, that one day you will make more money?
The nation already gives you a leverage.
Okay.
Because, look, I think the world of money making is always going to be about who is behind you.
Okay.
Or who are you behind? So
the world of money making is always going to be about who is behind you or who are you behind. Okay.
You must be seen with something. So imagine someone says, I earn 2K and I give it all. Let me tell you, the 2K, you would always give it all anyway. It's just to work.
Yes.
So what I needed was a community that I'm either following, or it's something that if I go sit down with someone, I say, oh, you know what, I've got elite fellowship, maybe not fellowship or family, and they begin to see things behind you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what opened up the Jewish community for us. These guys are just looking at us saying, this Pastor Tobi guy, I don't even think till now they think I'm straight. They actually think I'm into some big stuff.
Yeah.
Anyone that knows me knows I don't even understand crime. I don't know nothing about that world. And I think that makes me powerful. But again, it is always, nobody seems to help someone that is just empty. Like there's no name, family name behind you. There's nothing is behind you and you're behind nothing.
Yes, sir.
If they ever help, it's because, again, you just want to print it in newspaper. So those who have seen in the city, right? I think whoever wants to help them or work with them or whatever eventually realizes they are bigger than the desk they gave them in workplace.
Yeah.
And once they begin to realize that you're bigger than, because what makes you different from like 10,000 employees? They're looking and say, this one is a bit different.
Yeah.
So Pastor Abba put out a tweet.
Yes, sir.
She's building a community there. But if she's not in Goldman, look where she lives.
Yeah.
Nobody knows or cares if she sleeps on the couch there or she sleeps under the duvet or whatever. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
But look at what is behind her.
Yes, sir.
What you will see in your life is that there are many people that are your age mate. They are just ordinary.
Yeah.
Their only fun day is they dress up and go to Mayfair once in a while.
Yeah.
But there's no way you look at it national, and eventually these words will get to your bosses. They are dark to get to where they are. They will look at you and say, "So come, let's talk."
Yeah.
Like, who are you?
Yeah.
But imagine you have people. Maybe till Thursday, I'm still the pastor of Spark Nation. I think I choose to be pastor. Actually, really, on Thursday, I will do the formal physical handover now. Yeah. But the thing is, if you meet a PT, you think of a Spark. But apart from that, and Daniel was saying it yesterday, you think of many strong people who stand on their own. A Pastor Daniel, a Pastor Sam, a Pastor Buke. They are standalone.
Yes, sir.
But around PT, they are not standalone.
Yes, sir.
It opens up places for us. It pushes doors that we will not be able to open by ourselves. So I was saying, so if I'm in the city and I earn 2K, or thank you, or whatever, I'm putting all into building what is behind me, or what I'm behind.
Yes, sir.
Because that opens me up to billions. People will speak to me because of community. But as a standalone, and I'm saying, well, I'm just a Brixton girl looking for, what they will be using you to do is testimonial. They'll just say, look, we brought this Brixton girl into our workplace, and when they are tired, they'll just fling you off. But at a point, you have a bargaining power because of what is behind you or what you are behind. You have a bargaining power. So how will a professional make more money? They don't even need to think about money. Just think about the community you're building. And keep building it. Keep putting your all into building it.
I need to re-emphasize that. So the professional doesn't even need to think about money.
No.
Just think about towards your community and put whatever you're earning behind it.
Because that's what I've seen. And I've always used a Pastor Buki as an example. I don't think she goes around thinking, how do I make money? Or I want to give more. She wants to, but she's not even expressing it in that. But it happens.
Yes, sir.
Any which way is a way.
As
long as you're not stealing from anyone.
Yes, sir.
But it happens because of positioning.
Do you think that's also...
And positioning is so powerful that it's not just the positioning of them knowing later that something is behind you or you're behind something. It's also the positioning of the peace of mind. So I think there's a body language that oozes out from desperate people.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to ask you about that, but you're already going along that line. I was going to say, because there are some people that will hear you now. And then they will try it because they're looking for a method to just break out of their life that they feel like they're looking for better life. But they're not looking for, and everybody's looking for better life, but there's a desperation towards their own activities. So I was saying, do you think there's also a science to the person that then stumbles into money? Like a Pastor Buki, for example, she stumbles into money, but of course I can testify because she's a very close sister to me that it's never been like, she's never asked anybody, how do we make money? You know, it's just always just been, I'm following this, I'm giving towards this, and I'm doing my thing casually. So, but you just mentioned now that this desperation is easily picked up. But if you're an observer of people, so what does that do then to the person that wants to make money? How does it restrict them?
What I'll start with is be sure of what you're doing. Don't let nobody come teach you about, you can make more money, that if you go for this trading course. Be sure about two things. The job also that you've decided to take up and the community you belong to. And trust that system. Because if I keep saying, if you build a community, especially if it's a community that is not risk or wealth adverse. Church, again, church is my constituency. Let me leave church. If it is not risk adverse, if it is progressive people, if it is people that will just always be around things that look like money, either people say we are pretending or we are fake. I mean, if you're not a brain dead imbecile, right? If you think Nation Family, Spark Nation pretending and fake, you should come into this fake because it's been for a moment.
And it's expensive.
It's expensive. It's been since 2016 that we've been faking this thing. Like, this thing is like difficult. So a person, if you believe that, you should sit down at a point and say, look, this fake, let me go and live in this fake real life. Because this is looking like real life. Believe in the community.
Yes.
Because you cannot give your all if you don't believe in a community.
Wow.
And somehow the birds will pick it up. It will channel your own wealth in a certain way.
Yeah.
But if you go and say, because this is what the mistake people make, they'll say, how do I give and then build the community? But God knows my heart. But I also want to put something aside so that I can give more. I've never seen any of them fulfill it. What I've seen is people who are into building the community, yet they increase. It's a mystery, but it's also a science.
Okay, so you just mentioned something about channeling wealth. Your wealth will be channeled your own way. Can I just ask a quick question? Is everybody's wealth going to be money, or will some people? I want you to kind of clear up something. There is access. There is money. Relationships meaning access, and is everybody's wealth going to be money, or will some people's wealth be different?
Money is always going to be byproduct of something.
Okay.
Don't let's make money a major thing.
Okay.
It's the byproduct
Okay.
of certain character and certain things. Focus on those character. That's what I'm trying to say, I guess.
That's a difficult statement for people to be confident in. Because, and I'm trying to play the role of an advocate. I believe 110%, but I'm trying to play the role of an advocate so that we can extract the Professor X. Now, so it's a difficult statement for people to believe in a character, because character is invisible. So it's like, okay, if I follow...
Money is invisible.
Okay.
Look at what you're holding till now. It's a promissory note. You do know this is not money, right?
That's true.
Guys.
That's true.
I promise to pay the bearer on a value that they give to us. Wow. So, money as it is promissory. You know, promissory means it's in the future. So, even if someone gives you 10K now, you do know that's not money, right? It's in the future. That's why it's a promissory note. Go do your own research. So, it's a byproduct of. So, why do people then, let's say, I have 10K now, but I don't have it later in the future because something happened. Guy, the 10K note is not money. It's promissory note based on maintaining the value that you bring to the table. So why were you earning 2K then and now you've gone down? You couldn't maintain a value, a character, something that you were. So people look for money without a character. Why is a PT a PT? I'm evolving. I'm speaking. If you guys are the givers, I'm still relevant to you. So if you promised last week and you say, so what happened to me? The church starts, so people can give me and say, promissory of £20. That's the value at the time, right? The question is to me, can you maintain earning £20 from your preaching, or can you grow? If you can't grow, can you maintain it? So people are looking for this. The transfer of 1 million into their account. Why are people not giving you? The character cannot receive it. Because it's a promissory note on a value that you bring to the table. So a person can make, so those who make BBL loan, why are you still not making 50K every month? You don't have the character to make it. You cannot do it. So what I'm saying in other words is that it can never be the driving force. It is the reward. It's a character of, hey, should you keep doing real estate nice? We promise to give you 20K more every month. If you see things that way, I've never in my life been driven by money. Even when I've tried, people say money, it's not my thing. There's a focus that is deeper in me. And that focus, that's why a person is proposing a business of 2-10 million. I'm just looking at them, thinking, I don't think I'm going to make 1 billion through you. I just don't think so. I think my character is going to develop. So you can imagine in church life how many times people have come with bombastic ideas. We've experienced it. And every single one of it that I've put money into is just to help the person to say, look, so that you won't say that I didn't. I've seen, I can start mentioning names through my church journey. Did they make a penny? Never.
Can I throw in a question here then? Is what would you say is the criteria when it comes to having people who add financial value to your life. I mean, based on what you've been saying, I don't know if there's such thing as financial value. We can change that word to value, but I will allow you to answer the question.
I think it's still financial value. Don't forget, this is not diminishing money.
Yeah.
It's the most important in this realm.
Yes, sir.
Because Jesus said God or mammon.
Yeah.
But it must be a byproduct of something that you've become.
Yes.
A promissory note of something that you've become.
Yeah.
So, again, the issue is, someone says, we're going to put more money into this business. I said, the character of the person can't. So put your money where it should be, seeding. Seeding it.
Yeah.
So how do you get people that can bring financial value into your life?
Yeah.
Look at the character they've developed over time and how much promissory note has been put on them outside of you. Do you understand?
I get that.
So,
I get that.
So I'll give an example. So yes, I taught you guys about business and money, in a way, whatever little way or much ways. But you had come back and said, oh, recruitment, this is 1 million I'm giving you out of the recruitment.
Yes, sir.
Because I've gone to do. So someone has put a promissory note on you.
Yes, sir.
Then from there, excuse me, to a certain amount. Then from there, I can talk to you about money. I can say, you know what, Sam, you guys will now be the head mobilizers for the nation family.
Yes, sir.
Because somebody did put a promissory note on you.
Yeah.
A whole year, I've said, okay, do this, whatever we're doing. And it's come back to say, now I've made 6 million.
Yeah.
Somebody outside has put
That's right.
monetary, a financial value on them.
Yeah.
Then I can say, you know what we're going to do, blah, blah, blah. I can now go to the further conversation. But don't come to me with ideas. I want to see what promissory note has ever been put on you. So when we say that, people think that we're discriminating against, you've not made any. No, I'm just saying, at a stage in my life, if I can't see this monetary promissory note on you, at a stage, I can't bring you into my life financially, especially because it just won't work. So either so there are people I would think about now. They say the trendy has online stuff and she's doing well with it. Already, the next conversation I would have with a trendy is going to be more than, because she used to carry camera around and all that. At a stage in PT's life, that was important. Camera person, But because she's been around for like 50 years or whatever years trendy has been around for, we will no longer have conversation because she's still on camera, like carrying camera. But now I'm hearing some people are putting monetary promissory note on her. Then I can say, trendy, let's talk, because that's the state PT is at. It is not about money. I'm not going to ask her to go make money. But if she turns around and say, you know what, PT, I need 100K to do X, Y, Z, because people have been putting promissory note on her, then I will. Aziza, for example, Zahir. I can have conversation. If people are complaining that her hair is this, if not that I've seen her make money on the hair thing, I don't care if people are complaining about women hair. But right now I can say to her, are you silly? Are you not hearing what your people are saying? We can have those conversations because I'm trying to bring her into my financial life.
Yes, sir.
And it makes sense. But if it's just hair idea, and by the way, people are complaining about your hair, so go fix it. Go listen to people. Call your people and say, what's up? I've not just had time to tell you that. They said it's BS, like you're selling some stuff. So go listen to them. Pick up your phone and listen to them and make more money. Don't be stubborn. You're not in Sierra Leone where you just force hair on people. It doesn't work. I'm just saying. So you've made X amount of money. Now you want to get to the next stage now. I can talk to her because some people have put some value on it. So don't just bring everybody into your financial life because they are talking. Talk is cheap. Talk is very cheap. It doesn't matter if you're a financial professor in Harvard. I mean, you can study that. But what promissory note has been put on you? That's how you gauge people who can bring financial value into your life. And remember, it doesn't start with the largeness of the amount. It starts with the fact that nothing became something. That's all.
I think you mentioned that previously when you were saying if you can be able to maintain the £20 promissory note that has been given to you over time, or you're able to increase it.
Yeah.
One of the things I want to then begin to investigate further is the fact that you was talking about is there's a character.
Yeah.
To be sure in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then to also believe in the community you're in as well.
Yeah.
How does that? How does somebody? I'm trying to word it now. How does somebody make sure that they have the right character?
Yeah.
I think that's the question I'm looking for, because you can want to be an entrepreneur. I'm thinking about entrepreneurs now. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to make money. We've heard the promissory note, but just backtracking a bit back to character. How do you make sure that you do have the right character and it is the right science in order for you to then eventually make money as a byproduct?
I think first of all it's leadership. So you know how long people have been telling me about hair business. I just didn't think about. I mean, I was so ignorant, but because now I'm thinking, how do you not know? These guys don't have their hair. And there are many.
There are a lot.
There are a lot. Like beer everywhere. There are women everywhere. Like beer a lot, you know. So, and they don't have hair. So, you probably can't think I'm insulting you because you look at my hair. So that qualifies me to be able to say.
Yeah.
So they buy it like clothes, you know. But until somebody was able to show me, until Aziza was able to show me and say, I made eczema, and I can count people, and I don't know many people in the Nation family now. I guess right now I don't think I know many people. And that's simply because I may have known you according to the flesh, and I don't know anybody anymore. Unless someone tells me how much they make in a month, then I start knowing them now. So the people I know, it makes 10K easily, as if it's nothing. But until she tells me, oh, so I made this, that was the first time I even heard the name Aziza, as far as I'm concerned. And that's about like last year, late last year. That's the first time I thought, oh, okay, you exist. Now, so it's money only that. No, it's not money, it's productivity.
I think I get the science behind that.
Okay, cool. So once we establish that, how do you balance that? Leadership. Leadership is going to help you to evaluate certain things, check certain ideas out, check certain productivity out. Leadership is not going to rush you to make money. It's just going to see that this is profitable. This may not make sense, but leadership will go think about the sense of it. I might have digressed from the question. So interrupt if I'm going too far away from it.
No, you're still on track, sir. Because we're talking about the character behind
exactly.
a person.
So if you, this is interesting. If you're in a trap house, EDC center.
Yes, sir.
If you're in an ushering department, if you're in if you don't have a rebellious mind, people will say, people just don't get me. Be careful of those people, because it's going to be a problem. Especially if people are willing to now sit down and talk to you, and after that they still don't get you. They still don't get you. That means you want to be you. What these houses and stuff develop in you is certain characters. What these characters will do, what you don't know is that those characters are building money-making ability in you. And as byproduct, the character of what time you wake up, how you treat family, how you tolerate things, those characters are needed in the field of money making.
Yes, sir.
Whereas what you would think is they are just characters to make you a good boy and good girl. You've got to see beyond that, because in money making it takes endurance. You have to have endurance, you have to have tolerance, you have to be a person that doesn't really count everything as insult. You have to be willing to stoop low. Do you know how many people in this nation, big men and women, that we've gone to with gift? And you get there and you realize they are lower than you. But God taught me, he said, if you're going to go past a person, you will still walk past them. As in you meet them on the, you're saying, oh, I'm going further than this, right? You're still going to walk side by side with them. So we'll buy perfume, we'll just go pay homage. And that money will make you, we've given our last to people who don't need it. Like we're walking through a place, I realize I've got to buy a gift for this person, yeah, and it's the last money I have on me, and I've gone to buy the most expensive perfume now and given it to them, and I don't even have £20 on me.
Wow.
Development of character. Well, when we've done that, the man looked at us and said, "I want to give you 20,000." Yeah, all good, but even that, I don't need the 20,000.
Yeah.
I don't count the 20,000 as wow, my breakthrough.
Yeah.
And probably when he did that, the next day I'm buying more expensive thing. And I may not see the person now for years.
Yeah.
You know, so but those are characters that it may not be the person we bought the gift for. It's just certain development of certain characters.
Yeah.
So these characters will teach you. Because I've then seen people who were taught that the Bible says the gift of a man makes room for them, and they do it for a brief time and then they've forgotten now.
Yeah.
Because it's not character is time to develop. It has to be you. It's not something you're doing for an immediate. So how do you assess character? Leadership is already helping you to do that because you're focused towards certain things, and those things become you. The art of respect, how you pay respect, how you pay homage, how you carry yourself, how you talk, and the people. You know how many people have tried to teach, especially older people, and say, look, it is not that you can behave anyhow, sit anyhow, eat anyhow, because, well, when I have money, people will respect me anyway. Then you won't have it.
Yeah.
The fact, your etiquette, your ability to become, how do I say this, to carry yourself in a certain way and light, completely metamorphosized from wherever your background is, completely evolved, right? The fact that you can do that is what attracts certain kind of resources to you. Not when I have it, then I will become it.
I think the issue that I want you to help us out with, because you've brought some things down to the nitty gritty. You're talking about respect now. You're talking, and I'm careful of those things because I know an African parent will say,
That's what I've been telling my kids. You should kneel down.
But I know I see the way you're saying it. You're talking about somebody who has changed their carriage because they're evolving into. They're metamorphosizing, and I try to avoid the word change because it's almost like it's a transformation. You need to become a totally.
What's that Pastor Damis quote again?
So he said, "Change
I love it.
Change is unavoidable, but growth is a decision."
I love it.
So
because change will happen to you anyway. If you don't change, it will change you.
Yeah. So, and I think that's how I'm going to then explain this next question to you, because how do you change without seeing the full picture of what you're changing into?
Yeah.
So, for example, I think I understand more now. I think I understand more about national leadership.
Yeah.
Even though, yes, we're leading a community at the moment, trying to evolve into somebody that can lead a nation.
Yeah.
I get that, and then my carriage changes based on that. But what if you're a young person and I've still got another one for you to help out leaders as well, but let's start with this one. What if you're a young person who doesn't see that yet? What do you do in order to evolve? Why would respect be important to you? Etiquette, courage, why would those things be important to you?
How would you not see it if you live in Love House, for example?
That's what I was trying to get at.
I specifically chose Love House because of the age and the gender. They are girls.
Yes, sir.
Now, this person, Miriam, has managed and tried to take you out of that dead end called East London. You may cover it under Canary, whatever. Taking you to the Chelsea area.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're seeing the etiquette, the life there. The only reason why you won't change is when you're in that Love House, you pick up your phone and you're looking at girls from their hands.
Wow.
So we already know you're going to end up to be waste of space. Because you're connecting to, why can't the Chelsea neighbor not be your friend? Their children also. Why can't you not just completely, for some years in your life, immerse yourself into another world? Immersion. Yeah. Because what would happen is, should you be able to do that, soul winning will be easy because every other person too will start looking at, and your winning social Love House is growing. Or post family is growing. Someone sent me a video from the House of Medics. a brief of Pastor Faith actually, because she was there. The talk there, the life there. I'm looking at it. Why would a PT want a church of 10,000 people? I'm looking at these houses. It's mind blowing.
Yes, sir.
So why would you not see it? Again, I repeat, the only reason why you won't see it is you're looking at a guy who is a rapper, say, I was smoking weed because that's all I have, and then pulling his jeans down, and for some reason you still think that's cool.
Yeah,
it's not cool. It's, you know why it's not? It's easier for PT to reach out to them or to be seen with them. You know why? Because I wasn't brought up from that end, so I'll never even see them.
Yeah.
But for what I'm doing. But you are already in that world. Why would you not want to take yourself out of that world? So a man who, you're already, my accent is already very Nigerian, right? This is me speaking. It's getting cleaner. I need to stay here for a bit more.
Just a few more years and it's done.
I'll get there. But imagine what I do is I get home and start watching African movie, Yoruba movie, Or you can't, so you are actually still in Africa. You never change. And then you take Shaki. That means your blood system. Nothing changed. So, but that's for other people. I don't talk to other people with due respect. But for the younger generation, you have to look at the community you're coming from and totally immerse yourself into another kind of world. And don't think the streets will not like you. They will like you. You're not pretending to be someone else. You are actually what you want to become now. Complete metamorphosis. So my question back is, which is the answer? How would you not see it? Go. I saw the late night yesterday. I saw the what's it called now? The family capital house.
Yes, sir.
That lifestyle is completely different from the hood. And guess what? It is not money first.
Yes, sir.
It is a certain character, intentional about things, intentional about community, intentional about what you see. I just happen not to I don't like things that are not nice. It's just my life. It's anybody can choose what they like. So when I was even constrained to certain areas, I just created my own world there. So much so that if it is living in Peckham or Abbeywood, when you enter my own corner, you're not going to find things disorganized. I don't like it. So if I see a gold-plated something somewhere, I'm just going to buy it, £1, and I'm going to position it specifically somewhere. I've been saying, I don't want to be this other person. Because why should you be one person all through your life? I think we was sharing that with Pastor Dami yesterday with Pio. You must be able in a lifetime to enter 4 lives or 5.
Yes, sir.
Why would you want to be one person all lifelong? Why?
Wow.
You can be 4.
Yes, sir.
You can, any part of your life, you can be a lawyer, and some part you can become a surgeon. You can travel in between worlds. If you streamline your sight, I've told you, you know how powerful movies are. It's like America at the time decided to tell the world a narrative, and they built Hollywood.
Wow.
For the world to see America in the way America wanted to become.
Yes, sir.
Not even the way they
sir.
are. What they want to become. They want to become superpower.
Yes,
that's where Russia was lacking. So they took Hollywood and they created a whole situation. They created a whole story that travels beyond the speech of the president. So choose the movies you watch. Just choose everything around you.
About your life.
And I'm warning you now. And again, I love the Nollywood industry because it gave many people jobs in Nigeria. People who would have otherwise become so. But I'm warning you now. Because you are international, it will excite you to be watching. Before you know it, you become Nigeria. I'll just leave it at that. So I don't want to be unpatriotic.
Let me plug another question here. You've dealt with a lot of people. So I thought this question would be interesting. Should you trust everyone? Especially now that we're talking about the houses. I haven't completed the question, but I want to give some context to it as well. You were talking about the houses. There's role modeling going on in the houses. A young person, basically from what you just said now, a young person can look at Pastor Miriam, puts the onions store and observe them, and then they can totally metamorphosize into something different. Should you trust everyone and give everyone an opportunity? I think this is also a leadership perspective now. Should you trust everyone and give everyone an opportunity, or can you be selective with who you choose to invest with without it being that you're judging their ability or them?
Let me just give you the simple and public way to answer that.
Yeah.
The nation family has changed a lot. You've learned.
Yes, sir.
It is not even about the people that you trust or not. It's about them trusting themselves.
Wow.
So, do you think they trust themselves? And let me speak to those who are active in the nation family now. You are 16, you're 17. You know the problem your leaders will have with you. That's your leaders, not me. We hardly see or me. Is the fact that you're young. They know that you have chosen the right path, but do you think so? Because what keeps happening to the people of that age is that now at 17, 18, you think you've got a better life, something, and then you betray your leaders. Because someone is appeasing to you, and it's not someone important, it's just that they are the people you've always known. How can a person be in the nation family and go back to the hands? It's complete.
It's madness, really.
Yeah, it's madness. And it may not look like that today because they will give you excuses. Oh, yeah, they are this, they are that. What are they in the hands? Imagine the end saying First Nation people as fraudsters. What are they in the end? That's what they live on, and drug dealers without any decency. You know. But if you, in the same vein, there are chosen 16, 17s, and I hope some of you can say I'm one of the chosen. They can see through a process. So they are not here or there for comfort sake. That because it just looks nice. So the problem of the leader is not can they trust you. It's going to be, do you trust you? Do you know what you're going to do when you're 18, 17? Do you know the boy that is still appealing to you? So I wouldn't say can you trust everybody or not. I won't answer that directly. That's for leadership kind of stuff. But I would just say you look at them and ask can they trust themselves. And the way you gauge that is, does this person listen to instruction?
Yes, sir.
Do they understand why there are instructions? Do they understand why there are guidelines? Or do they think I'll get the result anyway, even though I didn't go with the instruction, I got the result, yay. No, I'm saying, did you stick to the rules?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because at this stage, it's about testing your ability to stick to the rules, not your ability to do.
Wow.
The doing that I want to see is, can you stick to the instruction? Inspire just gave this, did you stick to it? Don't impress me. It's not, don't impress me. You know, some of your, there are many times I've given instruction, I wish people answered it, they would be millionaires. But again, we keep learning, and as a father, you must forgive those things because it's painful sometimes, but it's fine. It's not about I got result, because I know this in court money you think you're getting, you don't have the character, the promissory note you cannot keep, so you will now do funny things to try to impress. Then it will catch up on you. And I've told you, the doing, what I see as you doing something is the fact that you can stick to that instruction. Already, either that then produce result or not, already for me, that is you impressing.
Yes, sir.
Because if you can keep to those things, it's like a soldier, man. It's like armies moving. I don't care if you eventually kill the enemy or whatever. My issue is, did you walk with the rank?
Yes,
did you do this? Did you do that? That's how it should be.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try and get through some questions.
How many more minutes do we have? 8 minutes for 2 hours, 8 minutes? Maybe,
yes.
So maybe we'll do 3 or 4 more questions.
Three or four. So we've got 45 here. What keeps your heart and mind locked into giving despite your daily fight to have / access enough money, resources to meet the needs which only keep mounting up? Should I repeat that question?
No, I get it.
Okay.
I think. Look, either you give or not, Daily demands keep mounting up.
Yes, that's correct.
So if I were you, I won't be concerned about the daily demands of bills of today. I'll be concerned about the one that comes when I'm older. How I live my older life. And the only way I can do that is building community that come back to build me. So how you keep your mind going, it's left to you. You've got to develop your own personal survival kit. Knowing why you're doing what you're doing. And if you're not sure what you're doing, then don't do it. But once you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, and you can see the future why you're doing what you're doing. So imagine a pastor, Dari, a pastor, whoever, doing what there is no thought in this world. When Pastor Dari first started with us, maybe it was 14 years old, right? There's no thought about how tech would take the world. His journey has just been his journey. And guess what? It could be that before the next 10 years, he's discovered the greatest billionaires because he's given his life into something. All these plans were not there before, but there was a future there. The same way it will apply to this youngest in any of the families. Something will open up. So it's going to be about the future. Rather than, and I'm a very strong advocate of young people coming together, of course, under leadership and getting a bigger house so that bills are reduced. Community support each other whilst everybody can work hard and go build something. Again, what pollutes those houses is you'll find someone that is just selfish and greedy. They can complain about their duvet, their brush. Someone is this, someone is that, and that's gonna be a problem. But God is also trying to solve that problem by making that person a better person, knowing why. That no longer is the EDC Center save houses to help from gang. No way. It is how can you focus on the work whilst the whole community just supports you, including wearing each other's clothes. It is what it is. There's no big deal in that. The whole world will begin to rally around what I've been saying for years because they are dumbed down by their selfishness and greed. And greed makes you make less, not more.
Can I give another question here? It's 36. Says, what age is best to introduce a person to making money?
Well, introduce them first to purpose and money. And by that I mean as long as they can talk back to you. I don't care if the child is 2 years old or 3 years old. Let them see money around and let them, if they can talk back to you either in clear terms, of course not in clear terms, whatever their sign of talking is, begin to teach them that. 100%. If I told her what's the best way to make money by helping people, it's constant in our mind from the age of 5 or 4, so they are aware of that there's something called money, and they'll continuously grow into different level of teaching about money. The making of it is secondary. Once they understand it, then at whatever age they get to make it, they get to make it.
Is that still your philosophy? What's the best way to make money?
100% helping people. The Facebook wanted people to be able to communicate. And then it made Facebook and then became a billionaire. So helping does not necessarily mean going to soup kitchen. Those are things people do when they feel guilty later in life. You didn't buy the food for the soup kitchen. You are going there to serve. Look at me, I'm in the soup kitchen serving soup. So if some of us didn't give the money, where would you find soup from? You must be kidding me. So you don't have to go to soup kitchen to distribute the food. You do know celebrities do that for TV, but I say, what's my own with celebrities? Superstar, what's my own with superstar? I'm not superstar, I'm just me. So I don't have to be in a soup kitchen, but I can send my money there. A guy makes millions from anyway, let's leave that. So what I'm saying is, helping people can be anything. People are helping us to connect now, and they are tech guys and they have billions. So if we put the mindset of helping, it can then branch into many things.
Amazing. Can I then say the next one will be, I'm just trying to, because we've kind of answered most of these questions through the conversation, but I want to just give it directly to you. How do I make my business into a multi-million pound organization? So this person is just going for it, basically. How do I make my business into a multi-million pound organization?
We will know if you're worth multi-million or not. It's the development of that character. I think my money talk today is around being you. And being you best you.
Yes, sir.
If I may, let me just
sir.
look. Don't ever. There's nobody that can tell me in this world how to make money. There's business is there to make money. I'm just gonna be laughing because I don't know if I've made money now or not. But where I am now is being PT, like PT, real PT.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me there is cryptocurrency. I'm just gonna be laughing. And you know those things are enticing and exciting.
Yeah.
If we do, and I'm saying I'm not moving out of this lane.
So what do you?
If someone is gonna introduce a business to me that will make billions, it has to be you.
Yes,
only
sir.
the sons that I know, they know PT.
Yes, sir.
Because by the time they are telling me, they are using languages that they know is
Yes, sir.
me.
Yes,
but
sir.
I've got to be the best version of me. Your greatest ability to compete is being you. Because you will never compete being someone else. There's no way. They will beat you hands down.
But that's difficult. You know why I'm saying it's a bit difficult to get, because people go into many different fields.
I don't know why.
Oh, wow.
But they don't make anything from it. Everyone I've known, anyone that's come up with anything, they are them. So what happens is they actually feel that the them that they are being is too small.
Yeah.
That how is this gonna ever make me anything?
Yeah.
Go and try the other things and let's see how it will make you anything. A Miriam is a Miriam.
Yeah.
So our job is to be the best Miriam there is.
Okay.
A Sam is a Sam.
Yeah.
You have to just be the best Sam there is.
Yeah.
And then the question will be, some people are so, what is me? Leadership will help you to find that progressively.
Yes, sir.
But if you work on being the best, so every time you see a PT, if you watch Sunday service, you'll just see everything evolving every time. My mind works so eccentrically, and his visions and his stuff is wild and wide. It just comes up with and I'm just gonna go do it.
Yes, sir.
And I'm doing that without giving a damn about what anybody feels. So I'm not doing a Sunday service for how many views. I'm doing it as an improvement of myself last week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's not, I wish like the whole world watches this. No, I don't wish the whole world watches it. I wish I can watch it and say, wow, that's a better version of the last time. Because eventually the whole world will watch it. Either now in a few years' time.
You said something just now. You said if the next question would be, what is me?
Yeah.
Or who am I?
Yeah.
And then you said leadership will help you progressively to
100%.
understand. So my question is, in that progressive period, what should someone be doing?
Be here, be there.
Okay.
If, look, we're saying somehow Shepherd Media came to life and there are people there working at Shepherd Media.
Yeah.
And your job there could be carrying cameras and da-da-da. Be the best guy there.
Wow.
You like it? Fine. You're the one packing the wires. But what happens is, a person is packing the wire and they see some other girl in church who looks like, wow, better than them.
Yeah.
Pack the wire the best. You know, these can be talks that you've heard many times. And I know I've heard it and someone is saying, be the best. I'm just saying, this is a talk like pep talk, like child's talk. It is not. It is not. Don't let nobody sit you down about making money. Just be the best. Money will answer to you. As long as you're aware of money. There are people who are not aware. And again, we're against or not for those kind. Be aware, but be the best you. And there must be something that always sizes it up. I'm thinking I've got to be the best person that raises people. And my credentials are speaking for me. Like, show me leaders in the world that as independent leader like I do. Well, I want to be the best. I've learned by, in quote, raising you guys, I become the best. So I just use church service as an example. I don't care if church service holds. No, I really don't. You know, but when it does, it's my expression of something. But what is most important to me is the individuals that are raised from that work.
Yes, sir.
Gotta be the best of them. And so, even if you think what you do is little, almost insignificant, why is a T. Simone going to be big if she continues to be the best at just cooking? Yes, she has to have a TV show, but that's not the first priority. The first truth is your food nice? Is it nice? 1, 2, is it getting better? Are you now getting more creative and daring? Because you can use us as guinea pigs of your creativity. And if you're getting better, if you are the best you will break through as a natural consequence. Because don't forget, the promissory note is, can you maintain earning this £20, and can you then get it into 20,000?
Yeah.
That's the question of life.
I think even though people have heard be the best, in this conversational manner, it will come across fresh, 110%. There are so many things that I've told some of the guys around me. I mean, they've been doing certain entrepreneurial ventures, and not because I'm a killjoy, but because I stopped some of them and told them, come, I need to see you within a structure. Simply because I want to see you be the best inside of this place.
Yeah.
And then if you're the best, naturally you will grow out of this structure.
100%.
And we can actually then trust that you will do well in entrepreneurship, or which has been the process of all of the guys around you as well. But let me move on to the next question. 35. How does a person maintain friendships of value with someone that can lead to making money with knowing? Okay, let me read this again. How does a person maintain friendships of value with someone that can lead to money making with knowing your value isn't on their level yet?
It's fine. Just be there. Just make sure that you keep improving. You're becoming let me say, become the best version of you each day. What have I learned over the last 16 years? How to listen more. So that, because if someone is telling you about business or anything in their life, if you listen very carefully to them, you'll be able to know what to go forward with or not. And we don't mock people's mistakes or non-exploit, whatever that means. We learn, even from their wrong or whatever we want to call it. And that makes us the better version of us. Whatever you do, make sure before valuing it with money right now, let me tell any young person or older person, money right now should be for you to just look for how to sow seed. It's simple.
Yeah.
The next thing is the daily personal improvement, becoming good at what you do. So I know the PT that started pastoring at 25. I know the PT of today. I know the fineness in raising leaders. I know the fineness in connecting to the street. I understand now. And what I now discover is this. There are levels you will not get to, even though you think you are now ready. You will. It will not happen because you're not. So when we got to these levels, I realized, I couldn't connect to the street. I thought I could. But certain work has happened over the years, and all of a sudden, discussing $1 million deal or 10 million, it's no big deal no more. Because that door has now opened, not because God has opened the door. Yeah, God has opened many doors, and He will keep opening many doors. But it's because your character can involve in those conversations now. So if you are not on their level yet, don't think you're always going to have to bring them ideas. Just be there and have conversations. And listen carefully, calm down. People don't listen, you know. The fact that they kept quiet, they are not speaking, does not mean they are listening. Their mind is talking. So that's why before you finish talking, they want to say. They are not listening. So they cannot become a better person. So I learned the act of listening, the art of thinking, and many other things. It is not about you going now and say, okay, let me learn the art of listening. Just be under that leadership, and naturally you begin to metamorphosize. When people or set target, do you actually sit down first and listen to the target, study it, and say, how am I going to play a role in this? Or do you just think, if the first part, I want to impress, I'm going to do something. Oh man, this is a lot. No, there's no lot, there's no small. It's about listening and listening to yourself, improving, because each target makes you a financially better person. Because you're looking for something.
So I know a bit of your giving history. I know a bit about the ways you've met Target in the background. So again, I'm going to ask this question if you were not PT, you were a nation family member, what are some of the practical things you would do? You just said one now. What role do I play in meeting this target? But what are some of the practical things you would do when targets are set?
Remember that I've not always been PT.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So people can think, oh yeah, you can say you wanted to 200K and you that because these are your PT.
Yeah.
No, I've not always been PT. I've always been Tobi. From the days the church bill is about 400 a month, 500 a month. I've got to look for it.
Yes, sir.
Every meeting of target or hustling to meet target would always be peculiar to you. So they are always, for me in this kind of field, is the why.
Yes, sir.
The why just drove us to a place where it is no longer about how. There's always a how somehow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But also I've also advised people that you've got to have something in quote stable for monthlies, so that you're stable on that. Then the extras is the how, but the how has to be the why, because what do you then tell a person, go get a job or do this? For some people that is not just going to work for them.
Yeah.
There will always be a how if we have a why.
Yeah.
What is our why in this case? Number one is visibility. Of course, God and the commandment of God. So in that is the Bible first of all for us. But then we then trust leadership. In the hand of this kind of leadership, 200K is 2 million to me.
Yes, sir.
The way we will make it look.
Yes, sir.
Visibility is why doors open for followers.
Wow.
What they are behind and what's behind them. That visibility, if we don't have it,
yes, sir.
I don't know how many pastors in this city, and God bless their soul, how many pastors in this city can go and open the door to a record label? How?
Yeah.
They can't see you, and they don't think you have money. They're just thinking, how you want your church to sing, and that may take us 2-3 years to perfect the door.
Yes.
But we will,
because
we look like we have money, and we have money,
and
we have resources. Because so everyone who gives must look at it as the why. Why we doing what we're doing. So that's why I didn't mind to take up a kitchen porter's job. I didn't mind to take up a whatever else job. There has never been a time. Some people thought some people were sending money from. They say, "Oh, your head start like people were sending money to you from Nigeria." I said, "Really? Are you for real?" If we were the same, like I have some support from home. Say from home, really.
Wow.
I have no support from home.
Sure.
It's just there is a why, and each time that it had to be, I just found a how.
Wow.
Because there's a why.
So I know because of time, I'm gonna give us one final question here. How does a young person, and again, the conversation which we'll go back and listen to has actually kind of delved into these questions, but I'll still ask them, how does a young person in school develop and expose themselves to raising finances, especially if they don't have a business and currently only get finances from a part-time salary?
Okay. You've started a how already. Start from somewhere and keep building up. And let me say, not everybody is going to have a business. So you can, and I think we've said that many times today. Do what you can do. But let me tell you, I think lying dormant in every man is an ability to make money.
Wow.
I just don't think we think well enough.
That's a major statement.
Yeah, I think it's lying dormant because God will not create a species who needs money on the earth and doesn't have a way to make it. It's not possible. I'm telling you, it is not possible. I think we limit ourselves to the places we expose ourselves to and the needs. If you have less needs, you don't need money. The needs and the people that we expose ourselves to will tell if you can awaken that money-making beast in you or that purpose-searching beast in you. I think everybody has. I just said it. Man is homo fiber. It is not just manual labor.
This is a bit deviating away from the nation a bit, but it's still a question I want to ask. What about let's say countries, nations that make it difficult for people to express that ability to make money?
I think they are the easiest nations to make money.
Really?
It's more difficult in the UK.
Wow.
Because you have a saturated system. But in disorder, in chaos, you have a lot of opportunity.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you. I think third world countries, because all the people from here are flying there to go make money.
Yeah,
it may take time. There will, of course, I'm not saying it's completely heaven on earth, but I think with resilience and thinking, I'll study a place like Nigeria, for example. You know what these guys do? Once someone discovers a business and start doing it, you just see bare people doing, a lot of people doing the same thing the same way. So it's like they wait for someone. Right now they'll say, wow, real estate is wow. All of them. Blah, 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 blah. But there are many other things apart from that. But you see them, naturally we are not innovators. So once someone is doing something, everybody starts doing it. And nobody can pull back and say, no, I don't want to make money. I want to create. Just leave me to think for some time. If you are a contented person, having clothes and raiment, and you have that, and clothes and food, you have that, you can live your life and wait till you eat something. You get an idea. So I just think that if we look inwardly, and we have needs, we have reasons for things, I think we'll find a way.
I think you really, and this is sort of my take home from the things you've said today, you've dealt with reason and motives behind why you are who you are.
Yeah.
And then that then becomes, there's a byproduct called money.
Yeah.
That then finds you, or you find.
Yeah.
Because you have been confident in knowing why you are who you are.
Yeah.
But then you also have to attach that to a community.
Yeah.
So my final question is, when you are not knowing why you are who you are, or when you are not confident in it, does a community give you why you are who you are?
100%.
Okay.
100%. You don't need to stress these things. You're in the nation family, let's say, or maybe you're watching for the first time. You're in a community, hopefully a good one. Just stay there. Calm down and watch. If they give you an assignment to reach a target, seed or soul or just do it. Just grow into it. And in the midst of doing everything, you'll find the thing.
Yes. Okay.
Do not underestimate your role. That is the killer.
Yeah.
Because we all want acceptation. And so we underestimate what we are called to do, and we see it as little.
Yeah.
If people are in Mayfair, you want to be there. Look, that just makes you an empty ghost. A person. Pastor Sam, we do city traveling a lot.
Yes,
Pastor Sam doesn't come. Until lately, maybe sometimes they pop in. I think the guys just discovered the role. When someone say, oh, go to the city, always be there. You don't have to be. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. And again, there are people who are just mediocres, who don't know those parts. I'm not talking to those ones within the nation. Hold your line and be strong, be powerful at it. Otherwise, you become a ghost that just hangs around and say, I'm around PT. Already, the fact that you're around PT without that role, I'm already thinking about you as unproductive. It doesn't mean I didn't say give him buns or donut or stuff. I will. Your hair, you're just eating. Yeah. Be there. You don't want to feel. But I'm thinking, but who are you? I'm waiting for you to tell me who you are. Of course, by all means, go around, enjoy yourself and all that. But I'm just saying that don't hang around places as an empty ghost. As a wandering ghost. Yeah, there will be days that a POB wants to make a statement in Harrods, so they just go and sit in the Arkansas, whatever. You're making a statement, but just hanging around to feel like, they said we should be exposed, we are here. You're spending money you don't have, a promissory note of a character that you cannot uphold or build, and it all ends up as waste. So be strong in what you are, the community, and even if you don't know it yet, just stay around the community and it will show you over time. your own area of power and ability and authority, and you'll be just fine. There is nobody that won't make money, guys. There will be nobody, unless those who become afraid, fearful, and they go take up a 9-to-5 job, even though it's not their zone, but they are struggling to go there because they have to pay bills. For me, I would say to a person, it's better to die, unless again that job you're using it to build a community, a purpose.
Yes, sir.
But to just build a house and get into retirement, why would a person leave then?
I don't think we've heard it clearer than we're hearing it these days in conversations. I think you sitting down and saying, just do not underestimate your role.
Yeah.
And those are the conversations that I know most of the leaders are having with the people now, because you've seen the most minute of roles become so, the person that is behind it has become so relevant still.
Yeah, exactly. The most minute of roles.
Yeah, the most minute. And again, there's examples that we can repeat over and over again.
Yeah.
But I'm beginning to see that it's not actually the role, it's the character that it continues to evolve while doing that role.
Yeah.
Because you can, and I'll use this example, the bookie that was playing the keys in the beginning is not the bookie we will see today. She's still the same person, meaning still blasé, but I mean, she's evolved. The way she speaks, the way she carries herself is improving daily. You know, you can't say there isn't no improvement, but the role, she's just satisfied. If there was no money, there was no this, there was no that, she would be satisfied just sitting there and playing the keys. You know, so I think the not underestimating of roles is essential as well. I think for me that's the final question I would have given you. So I'll hand over.
Absolutely, and you're very right. It's the if I don't just find a person with a role, I can't define them.
Yeah, I get that.
So it's like, what are you first? We can ordain you as pastor or whatever, but what are you? What the nation family should do, and I think this is the beautiful phenomenon or the eyesight for me. Imagine you have a service where there are 300 people there on a Wednesday or Friday night or whatever night, and those 300 are like minds. It's the most brilliant thing. That's what grows you into the next 3,000. And anyway, so I'm just saying that the service this week, I know more people have registered than the capacity. You're going to have 2 or 3 houses that you can go to and watch the service. Again, that's sacrifice. So it's sacrifice. But imagine what that should be on a monthly basis is you meet those 300 people and they are all able to show up with 1,000 each, 2,000 each. Wow. Building a community, like minds. People with, imagine sitting down with 300 people with roles. And then resources come from that's got to be the mindset of those who are leading those families there.
Yes, sir.
And those who are being led there. Because then you are making a statement of one of the most powerful families on the face of the earth.
Yes, sir.
It's just as simple. And in that, you just know your role is to show up with this amount, let's say. I'm just giving those as example, but it's brilliant, it's beautiful. So nobody will need to look for 100. Of course, there's people who will not say 1,000 pounds. Of course not. It will be insulting. But they understand that, and then everybody there knows a role. So if a PT is talking, I'm not talking to people who are trying to get born again. You do that on your Sunday services, 2,000 people, whatever, you know. But you have people that you can talk to on a certain level. Because you know they are also productive on a certain level of physical finances.
Yes, sir.
And that's why this week is beautiful for us. It's not the, again, people should sit in the houses and joyfully watch it, because again, what you're just saying is we cannot all fit into a place and disobey COVID rules and all those stuff. We're all going to obey, but also everybody from where you're sitting. So if your family says you can come, don't say, hey, so after all these years that I endured with you people during COVID. No, it's not like enduring with you people. There's no us and you. It is what it is. And then you're sending your own seed, you're sending your own stuff. With that, we will build a city that is going to shock the world. Because we're speaking on a certain level. We're speaking on a certain side. So my own close-up speech will be, you know, I've never desired a church where theater-style thousands of people sit down. Because I grew up in those settings. Honestly, it's empty. it is filled seats with empty people. On most occasions, you might as well get those toys, puppies, or what do they call what do children use now? Toys, teddy bears, and put them on seat and count them and say 50,000 people came. They would even be more effective. And what are the index and indices that you use to measure that kind of work, so that it's not just being eccentric? Do you take your city? How many people are employed through the people sitting down?
Wow.
When political time comes to win an election, are those numbers effective?
Wow.
Those are the indexes that you use to measure how many people are sitting.
Whoa.
Or is it that an unbeliever is still going to be the one to pass the policy? How many people do you collectively feed in your area?
Wow.
If your pastor is coming out in that area, do they see him better than the MP of that area? How can pastors not be part of the process that chooses an MP in an area?
Yeah.
And I said it yesterday. I was saying it to Pastor Daniel and those who were in the car, that eventually pastors will clock the kind of power they have. They are not clocking it now because of the religious order passed to them. Then they will say, "Oh, politics is a game of numbers."
Yes,
you have numbers
yes,
there. So,
wow.
This week is peculiar to us. Again, the service should hold. In case it doesn't hold, it will be a COVID regulation change and all that. So, and that's not going to be a problem to us. It's not going to be like, oh wow, no, we'll just say yeah. And the people that were ordained by power base will ordain them, reordain them. So it's like ordination service. Again, if you can't come because of number to your own ordination, you have to do it via the internet and stuff like that. It's our given day. It's the most important day for us in the 6th month. And also, PT has me physically now again, I'll be handing over properly. So the next physical service you have, I'll just be attending. I need to be in that position. Anyway, we'll leave it at that.
Yes, sir. I'm totally inspired by this conversation.
Same here.
I hope.
Can we see the comments now as we try to go?
I was just gonna say, so I hope someone wrote down the questions that PT began to ask the church in general. We highlighting numbers. How many people are you gonna employ? When there's an election in a city, how effective is that church towards mobilizing towards selecting an MP? Because I'm gonna need those questions after as well. But I think from this, we're redefining the characters in the church. And also redefining the way that a church operates as well. Because it's like, I can definitely see out of this the amount of billionaires and millionaires.
Let me add something. There have been churches and the pastors in this city. I rate them so much for the kind of numbers of people they were able to gather. I was given one as example the other day. I said this guy had so much business brain. I disagree with the business brain behind it, but it's fine. It's his own way. He started bringing American preachers, and that gave him some rating within the Christian world and stuff like that. But you look back at such moves, and you can't see one business in the city today that came out of those movements. Major business that employs, forget 1,000 people, let's say 300 people. Hundreds of staff that came out of those kind of moves. These were in the days where people were actually going to church. They believe in church. They believe in Pentecostal circle stuff. They were remortgaging their house, giving all their stuff and all that. And you're looking back today and you can't find one, not even an ice cream parlor. Like what came out of this movement? And it's almost none. Again, I'm not blaming the pastor. I'm not blaming. I'm just calling us to an awareness that means that big move cannot work anymore. I want to sit down with the 300 people. I was saying to Pastor Lisa yesterday, it pains me to know that I can't get all the 400-500 into that one room. It pains me, but what can I do? And people have said, why don't you get your own church building? I said, no, I'd rather get our own shopping mall. Not building my food. So, but I can sit down with the 300 or 400
Yes, sir.
and actually look into people's eyes and say, how are we going to employ people?
Yeah.
Because whoever we employ is our church member. Either they like it or not.
Yeah.
How can I turn these 300 people into employing 3,000 people? And already there are, within the nation now, the number of people employed within across bodies of up to 100 already.
Yes, sir.
And there are companies that need to grow. And that's why PT must constantly be moving forward so that there's space, and then the world can see a PT as a PT, whilst they also see a PSAM as a growing PSAM, and things like that. We must be deliberate. That's why we give. If they, you've just used giving to create a PT. It's like you've crafted something and pushed in my head and said, go open doors for us. That's the simple fact of it. And so the whole world people can wake up and say, hello, Pastor, I've got something here, it might interest you. And out of 100, I pick one and say, oh, that's what Onye, that's what that, or Onye gets an idea and says, I know PT knows who to connect this. And then comes to me and say, yeah, of course, let's go to Charles. And then I say, get in the car, let's go, it needs this. And then they are looking at me in the meeting, and they will do it because the Pastor Tobi guy is saying is behind it. But that PT guy is created by Onye, by Sam, by, let me say, someone that is not, by a Taja. They're created. Same thing you're doing with leadership. And we have to keep doing that. Otherwise, we would be carried away with Sunday service. 2,000 people. And we filled biggest halls in this country over and over again. But we cannot afford to be carried away with that. That's why I use that church as an example, that millions and thousands, probably millions of people came together. It all ended up in sowing, offering, and then evaporates. Went away. Again in UK, we can't say from this church move, about 50 businesses came up and it employs 5,000 people. If they've done that, charity won't be able to stop them. But again, we're learning. We'll keep learning.
Okay. I think we can take a look at the comments and see.
See if there are questions or comments. Thank you, Aziza, for replying me. Call your customers. I'm not your customer service guy, but I don't mind to be, though. I don't mind to be. But, actually, I don't mind to be. If she's not doing well, call me, text me. Use anonymous number. Use whatever. Just let me know. I'm a customer service person. She will pay me later in the future, so I'm fine. Okay, this looks still, but we've got to go though.
Yes, sir. I think we kind of answered that question there. That was there. So would you say money is a byproduct of your focus? Blah blah blah. Okay. All right, sir. Over to you for final remarks.
Thank you, Holland. I'm looking forward to seeing many of you at our service will be somewhere in Mayfair, I think, maybe Dorchester, maybe, who knows, maybe
You're
Mayfair
making it
Hotel.
more and more difficult to make people stay at home, sir.
Yeah, but, you can always come Dorchester after the service. Someone just got an idea. I'll just go there to have lunch. Don't come to have lunch. Maybe Dorchester, maybe Mayfair Hotel, maybe... Who knows, somewhere around Park Lane. But you'll know when we know. But I'm really looking forward to seeing people physically. I'm looking forward to what the environment is going to look like. And again, if you're going to be watching from home, I encourage you to do that. It's going to be beautiful. We're just going to have a good time and a beautiful summer.
Yes, sir.
So thank you all.
Thank you, sir.